And it looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers. Better late than never. A couple minutes behind, but always on time. Welcome, everybody, to this round 8 of FOXXXES Racing Week here. Today, we are in Austria. You're joining us here on Split 2. Apologies for the little bit of a delay, but sometimes that is what happens here as we're getting underway. Split 2 rolling. Some real excitement last week coming out of the Split 2 races. And as you can see, we're in Austria this week, and I've already been warned by everybody who's somebody that Austria creates carnage, and I cannot wait to see what happens with it. I don't know why someone... Let's jump on board here. It looked like somebody's motor was blowing up early, but it's not. Austria, of course, a very short track, a very quick track. So it's going to be really exciting to see what these drivers throw in and exactly what happens. If you're new here to FRL, I want to welcome you in. Of course, this week, a European-based server, a Polish primarily based racing league. I don't think I need to talk about exactly what's happening in the European Union currently. It's completely tragic. I don't think I need to explain. If you're even remotely in the loop of social media, you understand what's going on and what's happening. FRL here, we've taken a very clear stance. We stand with Ukraine. If you're looking to give some assistance, jump to our Twitch profile, very top link. It's going to give you very great humanitarian ways to ensure you can provide aid to Ukraine. If you're in Ukraine, all of our thoughts are with you. We hope you're staying safe. And we're happy that you've taken some time out of your day to come enjoy some racing. But we do hope you're staying safe. We hope you're taking care of yourself. Now, let's jump here with Kushor. Kushor, the Ferrari driver. All the seriousness out of the way here. Kushor, P12, did not start the last 2 races. Only has 2 top 10 finishes under his belt out of the 5 races he has run. So, should be fun to see. Gamer 2021 coming out the board with a 105.2. Not what I'm predicting that qualifying times are going to be, but nice to see so far. As we come around here, Buchek putting in a 105.3. This is going to be a chaotic qualifying session for you and me both. There's going to be a lot of drivers doing a lot of things. It's going to be really hard to keep up. Bernard with a 104.5. I would expect personally probably a 103, 102. I'm waiting to see where Spaghetti puts in a 104.4. What is Wasserschwein going to put in? Another one of the top drivers currently in the league. Currently P1 in the league. 2 finishes, 2 top steps of the podiums, 4 podiums. And Spaghetti put in his 104.4 on a medium. That is important to note. Spaghetti P2 currently in the Drivers' Championship. 26 points off, 2 DNFs, but making up for that with 3 podiums. Kushor comes across the line. Kushor puts in a 105.0, puts himself up there into P3. Looking really good so far, all of our qualifiers here. Wasserschwein out on track coming around. 44.6 in the middle sector coming around. This downhill section, I think, is going to be one of the places that we put carnage. And if I'm hyped today, it's because I'm hyped. FRL is here. Wasserschwein 104.2. Beautiful track from him there. All the drivers currently putting in flying laps or on laps, and you can see turn 1's going to be chaos as Wasserschwein almost goes off there and compromises himself. Bernard puts in a 104.4, putting himself in his 2nd place on a 2nd flying lap. Interesting strategy coming in from him there. Let's jump on board with Fishu, Spaghetti Mafia's teammate here. Fishu, P7 currently in the Drivers' Championship. 2 DNFs under his belt, but a lot of solid finishes. Only 1 finish out of the points as he goes purple in the middle sector with a 44.6. Beautiful times coming around from him. What can Fishu throw in to finish this? I'm going to jump on board with him as he goes around the final 2 corners. You can see a little bit of a lift, staying on it, and almost on the edge of track limits there. Almost on the edge. Stays together a little bit in the grass, which is a little interesting. And he comes across with a 104.3 that it looks like invalidated right at the end. So he was looking really strong there in the beginning. Wet race, says admin. Wet race, says admin. So let's throw split 2 to the Wolves, I guess. Godfather has spun out there in the 3rd sector, and he's in a very dangerous spot, almost getting ran through right there. Right on the end of the pit entry. He's having a hard time getting going, but looks like he's doing okay at the moment. If I could hit a button correctly, we'd probably still be under racing. Vixie going into the pits here. Fishu's still out on track, not able to set a lap. Track limits seem to be the bane of his existence. Let's jump with Youngies here coming through. Purple in the middle sector as well as he comes around. You can see the Alfa Romeo gets well out of the way at the moment as Youngies is going to come around the 3rd sector here. Final couple of corners, right on the edge of track limits again. Hits the curb there, keeps it together. And what time is he going to throw in? He is going to throw in a 105.3. Puts himself up into P12. Purple in the middle sector, though, so lots of time to make up there, and it looks really good. Purple in the middle sector again for Puchaz. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. If I'm not pronouncing your name right, I am very sorry. Let's see here. Puchas comes around, and he put himself up into P5. Strong time coming in from him. Senor. Senor is a driver we don't talk about a lot, so let's take a minute and talk about him and hope I don't driver curse him. P3 currently in the Constructors, with all of his finishes being above the top 5. Of course, 2 podiums in the first 2 races, staying in the top 5, but the last 2 races have been DNFs, so Senor's really going to have to toss it together because he is going to be carrying Haas on his back in the Constructors Championship. Currently P4 in the Constructors, of course. Haas, Senor here has a new teammate of Kuba, so we'll see what Kuba can throw in the belt as we go through. Coming around here, middle sector, Senor is a little bit off the pace, I believe. And Senior comes around with a 105.1, so up in the P9. That 104.2 from Wasserschwein is looking really good right now. And Kevin's still setting hot laps. Let's look at that for a second. He finally comes into the pits after 5 laps on those tires. Spaghetti coming around here. Spaghetti coming across, finishing his lap with a 104.3. Less than a tenth of a second separating Spaghetti from Wasserschwein, and I'm sure he's going to find more time as they go through here. So, as we come around here, Spaghetti Mafia invalidating his thing. Sorry for the quick delay there. Had to fix a couple things. Alright, let's go in here really quick. I'd like for you all to be able to see the track map. So let's make that a little more doable here. I think that'll let you all see the track map and still make a clear stance of what we're thinking here in FRL. Well, maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, that should fix all issues if you can't see what's going on the track. I can, of course, see it, but you all can't. So, while we got that fixed up and good to go here, keep looking around at the moment. Who is doing what? Kuba up into P1 with a 104.0. 2 tenths up on Wasserschwein at the moment. Impressive for the first race here of Kuba. Going into the pits, he said, all right, I'm done. We'll jump on board here with Bernard down in P5, who's invalidated his current lap. What's Fishu doing here? P7 invalidated his lap. 7.5 minutes left to go here in qualifying. Crash going around the first corner, starting a flying lap. Let's jump on board with him as he goes through here. And he's coming around, looking really good so far through first sector. He's coming through middle sector, second of 3 DRS zones. And this right-hander, this site of many, many tight battles between Lewis Hamilton and whatever driver he can shove off track. Looking at Crash, though, no chance of him shoving anybody off track. Austria, my favorite track, of course, a track everybody loves. Look at Crash riding the curb right there through the middle sector. Purple up 2 tenths of a second. Mercedes having a great season here in FRL so far. Mercedes has typically had a very bad season in FRL, but it looks like so far Mercedes said season 4, we are going to put our foot in the door. Comes around final corner, great stride as he comes through, and he's going to come across the finish line into P6 currently. So a little bit off the pace, but still looking really strong. What's Wasserschwein got to offer here in the middle sector? 2 tenths down, but looking very strong as he comes through the final couple of corners. Look at him hit the curb there and go around again. I believe he stayed in track limits there. Barely staying in track, not in track limits there. So, would have been a 104.0, so that would have been a 2/10 improvement from him, but invalidating right at the very end with that hard push lap. Pooch has on his flying lap here going through the first corner, coming around what I like to call the Verstappen corner, because Verstappen seems to dominate it every time. Coming around here, we'll see how he does here around the infamous turn. What is this, turn 3 technically? Austria really only like a 7 or 8 corner track. Looking beautiful as he comes around here. Middle sector coming around, and his middle sector time is going to be a 44.8. So up by 500ths of a, or down by 500ths of a second. So he comes around final corner. He's got a Mercedes in front of him. The Mercedes is going to stay well out of the way. Ooh, barely staying out of the way, though. I thought there was going to be a collision right there at the apex. Of course, the pit entrance, very chaotic for the drivers. And Puchas comes across a 104.421. Or 4.82, improving, but only slightly. Jumping on board here, Spaghetti Mafia putting in a 104.0, looking gorgeous from him. Wasserschwein invalidating his lap again. Lots of drivers doing multiple push laps, which makes things really interesting to keep track of here. Senor getting ready to start a push lap, and I love watching the drivers come through these final couple of corners because just look how tight things are. Comes across the line. Starting his flying lap. His out lap was 105, so his out lap was already competitive. Watch him come across here, and the Alpine just gets in the grass and stays out of the way. One of the best things I can say about FRL is the respect that the drivers show each other for themselves on track. Senor taking a little bit of an interesting line there, not utilizing all of the track. We'll see if it pays off for him as he comes around here. So as he comes around, again, Senor not utilizing the full outside curb, but it seems to be working for him so far. A little under 4 minutes left to go in this Austria qualifying session. Purple in the middle sector is Senor as he comes through. We'll see how this lap finishes up for him. A great time so far, though. He's looking really strong. Final couple of corners coming down, and he stays in track limits there, and he stays in track limits here. So what's this time going to set up for him? Comes across with a 104.7, sees himself up into P11, but not high enough in order to improve further. Kushu on an outlap, Fishu on an outlap, Crash on an outlap currently. We'll jump on board here with Fishu, who's coming through the third sector now, getting ready to start his next flying lap. 3 minutes to go here in this qualifying session. You can see with that next to final turn, penultimate turn if you want to call it that, you can see how the pit entrance is right there on the apex of the corner. I'm going to predict that that'll create some interesting moments in the race coming around here, qualifying very strong. 2 minutes 45 seconds left to go here. Coming around, hits the curb, which from what I've been told by our time trial star JJ in split 1, the curb is not what you want to hit right through there. So coming down into the middle sector, hard right-hander, which I think is technically called turn 6, but I'm going to call it turn 3, because in reality it is the third corner of the track. Purple middle sector for Fishu, up by 7 milliseconds. Fishu coming down. I think the third sector is what's really starting to hurt people. Godfather retiring from the session. Looks like he may have spun out in the first sector there. Fishu track limits, my guy. Right there on the final corner, trying to eat a little bit more sausage curb. I guess he wanted sausage for breakfast. Wasn't able to put it into practice. Spaghetti Mafia on a flying lap coming down the first sector, though. Minute 45 left in qualifying. Plenty of time for at least 2 more push laps if you're currently out. You can do a push, a cool down, and then a final push if you pay attention to what you're doing. Spaghetti Purple in the first sector. Kuba under some pressure here with his 104.01. Going to be under some pressure at the moment, it looks like, if Spaghetti Mafia can keep this lap together. Spaghetti Mafia coming through the middle sector here, and just watch how these drivers just utilize the track all the way in, touching the curb, all the way out, riding the curb, all the way back in against the curb, but don't touch that one, but ride that one really hard and come around and fling it through. And final couple of corners, he is going to be flinging it. Look at that. Curb to curb to curb to curb. Spaghetti, beautiful run. And what is Spaghetti putting in? He puts in a 103.9. The first 103 we've seen, and Spaghetti decided to pull it out of the bag right at the end of the qualifying session here. But of course, Kepa is out. Crash is now DNF'd. Crash, I don't know why Crash retired, but Crash retiring. 35 seconds left here in the qualifying session. Kepa coming around, starting his next to final flying lap, I would imagine, if he's got time to put another one here. Wasserschwein coming around on a flying lap, but he's invalidated. 25 seconds left to go, and I think he's a little bit too far back, so Wasserschwein not going to be able to put in a final time. Bernard coming around here on his final flying lap. 15 seconds to go, so if you're not starting a lap now, you could be in trouble. Of course, though, this track's only about 1:03 long, as we can see, 1:05 realistically. So as the drivers come around, final couple of corners here, Bernard going through, and let's look here as 1 second drops. And Alfa Romeo was able to start his time, I believe. Nope. Ofsky or Gamer might have started a final lap here. Bernard coming around middle sector, not purple, but still looking good. Coming around, coming through. Look at Bernard absolutely flying. Final couple of corners. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. That traffic runs way wide, stays out of his way. Where is Bernard going to come across here? Bernard takes the line. And he slowed down and gave it up. He didn't have the time to throw in, so he just tossed it to the side. Wasserschwein spinning out of the final corner, so Wasserschwein reserved into P5. Look at him just knock down the barrier. He is upset with himself, as you can tell. Puchas coming across the line here. Where is he going to be? He is P4 locked in, so nobody can put a time in. Spaghetti Mafia, the only 103 that we've seen, but just barely a 103. 2 minutes left to go here. Gamer invalidated a lap, so he won't matter. Biss invalidated lap. So, qualifying Spaghetti Mafia, that was a hot, rapid, quick qualifying session. It was beautiful. It was dangerous. It was fun. Spaghetti Mafia 103.9, Kuba 104.0, Kepa with a 104.1, Puchas 104.2. Look at how close these times are. Everybody from second place all the way down to 15th in the 104s. So, that being said, wet race. What are the predictions for the race? Don't ask me because I don't have one. Can't tell you what the race is going to be. It's going to be something fun, though. Car's still out on track at the moment. Not sure if this is a glitch for me or what is happening. There we go. Now the game decided to end quali. So, Spaghetti Mafia, crowd favorite. If you love spaghetti, say it. But Spaghetti up into first place. Kuba P2, Kepa P3, Puchas P4, Vasser P5. So it's going to be a real tight battle here for the top places. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's going to be time for a wet and exciting race. All right, here we go. We're back. So, intermediate conditions, it looks like. I don't have a good prediction for what's about to happen. Wet Austria races. Why does that sound like a lot of fun at the moment? So, I'm going to ask you in the chat for a prediction. So, I want to know from you, will Spaghetti Mafia win from pole? Very simple. I will tell you my personal prediction. I think Spaghetti can pull it out of the bag. I don't know why Spaghetti couldn't pull it out of the bag. So, throw in your predictions here in chat. And let's see what everyone says, because crowd favorite Spaghetti Mafia. I'm always loving to know what everyone thinks. Coming around here, formation lap. Wasserschwein disqualified from the formation lap. Bad sign for him already. So, as we come around, final couple of corners here at the moment. And grid is forming up. Wasserschwein Bernard disqualified from the formation lap. So I've already got a feeling that this is going to be spicy. Real spicy. Well, let's see what happens at the moment. And as we line up here, ready to get underway for Split 2 here in Austria. And it's going to be 5 red lights. And we are underway here for Split 2 in Austria here at a wet race. And we're going to be away. And look at all the drivers sliding around. Who is that? Bernard on the inside getting a great run on Wasserschwein as we come through turn 1. Who is that diving up the inside there? Somebody in the Alpine making a real dangerous move. I believe that was Biss. And you can see AD Gamer way off the track there as we come down the main straight. So absolute chaos starting off this race through the first couple of laps. Look at him too wide coming into what is essentially turn 2. They go through. You can see back Kepa making a strong dive there. Fishu around the outside drivers just struggling for basic traction. What is the carnage going on back here in the back? Lots of chaos happening early as we run down, but Spaghetti Mafia 1.1 second lead straight off the bat. We go through. Look at Bernard trying to have a run on Wasserschwein there on the inside, and look at how slow and timid the drivers are taking it at the moment, which I can't say I blame them. Can you? Oh, look at Bernard and Puchaz having a little bit of a swapperoo there. Of course, strategy, we're saying it's going to be intermediate conditions the whole race, it looks like, but I don't think AWS knows. Puchaz and Crash battling it out here. It looks like Puchaz falling back and Crash getting up ahead of him as we come down the final couple of corners for the first run. And you can see drivers lifting way off. Track limit's going to be a big issue, and it looks like Puchaz already going into the pits here. Spaghetti Mafia 119.7 for the first lap setup of the race here. And let's watch as the rest of the grid comes through around the start-finish line. And you can see nothing real crazy happening. Gamer and Offski swapping positions here in the end. But as we go through, Spaghetti 1.6 seconds now the gap. Great traction from the McLaren driver as we go through. Is Crash going to have a dive on the inside of Bernard? Thought about it, decided against it. Smart move early on here. No reason to risk 36 laps of chaos coming your way. VSC out early, and it looks like that is going to be for Puchaz, who has spun back in the back potentially. I didn't see exactly what that was from, but VSC here on lap 2. we come around. Of course, DRS doesn't matter in this situation because, well, it's raining. Why would DRS matter at the moment? But looking at the field, let's look at the big winners and losers here. Wasserschwein Bernard crash up 2 positions each. Pooch has the big loser down 15, Kushor down 7, Bis 2000 and Senor both up many positions. Youngi's up a lot of positions here as well. So drivers very early getting some very advantageous jumps. Only driver to make a stop has been Pooch has at the moment. And that was probably for damage. So as we go through here, VSC at the moment, and we'll see what driver can take advantage of the VSC ending and really get the jump. VSC now ended here on lap 3 as we go around, and you can see again drivers being really slow and really timid compared to what we saw in qualifying, and I absolutely love it. Let's jump back here. Bis 2000 and Senor having a great battle. Senor trying to go around the inside here of Bis, and it looks like at the moment that's not going to work out there. So Senor reserving himself back into P10 with 80 Gamer right behind him there, and you can see 80 Gamer trying to have a bit of a run here as well. Good slipstream as we come into the final couple of corners, trying to put the pressure and force some sort of a mistake. So as we come around here, final couple of corners, and it looks like Spaghetti Mafia is looking really good. Is this better? All right, it wouldn't be FRL if we didn't have audio issues. Oh, because it's pulling from my webcam instead of my actual mic. I've been doing that this whole time. What do you know? Okay, Syntax, is that fixed? Okay, yeah, we were pulling from the webcam, not the actual mic. So, good to know that my webcam is apparently my default audio source now. Anyways, back to what we're doing here in FRL. Enough about the audio issues that happen every week. So if you're new to FRL, I always expect something to happen with the audio because I can't seem to get it right for 2 seconds to save my life. Anyways, let's jump up here into P6. Kepa up in P6 at the moment. Fishu in P7. We're trying to see if any drivers can push. Spaghetti Mafia putting in 115s. Kuba putting in a little bit faster of a lap though with a 115. I'm gonna have to start streaming with audio monitoring on through the first couple minutes just to make sure I sound right. Anyways, as we come through here, Kepa and P6, 7/10 down, gap starting to open up, things starting to relax. Unless your name is AD Gamer and you're 3/10 off of Senor here, trying to have a run and get yourself into P10, and he's diving on the inside, cuts the curb. A risky move there, but luckily for him, nobody's behind him to take advantage. If you're just joining us, welcome to FRL here. We're on lap 5 of 36, and some absolute chaos is happening at the moment. As we go through here, it's looking gorgeous here as Vixie falls down into further and further back, and he's missing his front wing. Safety car deployed here on lap 5. Gonna take this moment to say it again. I know I said it during qualifying. If you're just now joining us, all of our thoughts here at FRL are with every citizen in Ukraine. I don't think I need to go into exactly what's happening in Ukraine. If you have any sort of social media, if you have any sort of presence and you've watched the news, you know what's happening, you know everything that's going on. Here at FRL, we do stand with Ukraine, and we do believe in that. If you are looking for ways to donate and ways to assist Ukraine, jump down, top link in the profile. We'll give you multiple ways you can assist Ukraine and ensure that aid goes to those who help. So, lap 6, safety car is out, and we are looking at a fun race so far. Still all the drivers on intermediates at the moment. Vixie in the pits. So, looking through here, Puchaz losing 14 positions. Kuchor lost 8. Vixie down 9. Big winners right now. Youngies and Bis 2000 both up 8 positions. And Godfather up 5 places. So, great things coming through here on lap 6. Audio issues galore. What do you know? Oh boy. Look at this as we come through here. All right, looking here, lap 7 at the moment. Lots of chaos happening. And if you're new to FRL, you don't know that I love chaos, and you probably should know that I love a good chaotic race. And safety car is going to be in this lap. And what does that mean for the drivers? It means a lot of fun is about to happen here. So as we go around here, final couple of corners, and we are going to get ready to get back underway here. Third sector, safety car is taking off now. And what is Spaghetti Mafia's play going to be here? When is he going to take off? Let's watch. Final corner still not underway here. Is that catching anybody off guard? It's catching a lot of people off guard, actually. He waited very, very late to get going. And look at Crash here, who took advantage of it and got around Kepa. And we're coming up the first corner here. Where is this going to end up? Drivers look like they're keeping it pretty clean. I thought I saw someone big spin back there in the back, and it looks like, yes, there was a spin in the back, and it looks like that was Bis 2000. Had all those places gained, and now he's a big loser. We're back underway, though. Look at Crash here. If I can hit the right button. Look at Crash and Kepa going around here. And Senor and Fishu in the battle between Youngies and AD Gamer. Crazy things happen here. Senor trying to get around Kepa, going down the inside here. Risky move, and it looks like it's absolutely paid off for him as they come around here. And Fishu follows Senor right through. Kepa losing 2 positions in one corner. He might lose a third one here to 80 Gamers. 80 Gamer squeezes him on the inside. Little bit of contact, and it looks like Kepa decided to drift it and keep it underway. Kepa now down to P11. His teammate Godfather right behind. Little bit of contact, and that causes some complete carnage for him. Coming around here, lap 8. Coming around Kuba, 1.2 seconds back on Wasserschwein. We're going to jump back because I don't think that carnage back in the midfield is done. Spaghetti Mafia, 114 across the line here. And watch the battle between 80 Gamer and Fishu as they drag race up the hill towards turn 1. And what is going to happen here? 80 Gamer has the inside. Fishu's on the outside. He squeezes Fishu right off the track. Fishu still underway here, though. Fishu a little bit slower of a run. He's going to try to dive back in the slipstream in the spray, and he's going to switch back to the inside here. Backs off a little bit, decides not to dive it in. Little late on the brakes, though, and it looks like 80 Gamer gets a great traction run off of what is essentially turn 2, and that allows 80 Gamer to get a bit more of a gap built up here on Fishu as we go. Buchek, the first driver to get any sort of penalties, and Buchek and Fishu now swapping as he dives around the inside there of Fishu. So many tight battles happening. The front of the field spreading out, but this midfield battle for the last of the points paying places, say that 5 times fast, is absolutely amazing. As we come around here, Fishu trying to battle back here on Buchek and protect himself from Youngi's Spaghetti Mafia setting in the fastest time, but Kuba putting in an even faster time, a 1:13.7 as we come around. And Crash up in P5, having a run on Bernard at the moment. He's going to be in the slipstream. He's going to look. Bernard's going to be defensive on the outside. Crash is going to dive it on the inside. A little bit later on the brakes, and look at them side by side as they come through. Crash has the better line, though, and Bernard has to back out of it. But is that going to give Bernard the opportunity to run through? Bernard gets really loose on the traction in the middle of the straightaway. What a weird place to lose traction, but Bernard able to hold on to it. That will cost him dearly, though, as we run through. So as we come around here, the battle's still very tight from multiple positions. I know on this track, a second is an eternity for some of these drivers. But looking through, Kuba gaining 2/10 this lap alone on Spaghetti. 26 laps to go here in this round 8 of Split 2. Spaghetti Mafia putting in another fastest lap at the moment as we jump on board here now with 80 Gamer, who has a half-second gap. Crash putting in a fastest lap now, so Crash deciding he means business. And times continuing to improve as we go. Now time penalties are starting to make a play here. Godfather getting a 3-second time penalty. And look at this Bernard Senior 80 Gamer battle that's getting ready to develop as we look here. Half a second separating these drivers. Senior now has a little bit over 7/10 to make up, but the battle is still very close for the drivers as we jump into an aerial shot and watch the different lines they're taking there through the first turn of the middle sector, turn 3 if you want to call it that. As we come around here, still the gaps are continuing to open up front, but Kuba now under 1 second on Spaghetti. First time we've seen them that close, and Kuba gaining big time. Spaghetti must have had a bad run through the final couple of corners. Gap now down to 7/10. We'll jump up here and see Kuba fastest lap, 1:13.6. So Kuba making up bukus of time as we go through. Look at the time Kuba is gaining. We have a yellow flag, sector 1. It looks like that is going to be Offski who has went off track. He's going to get it around. He's going to get back going, but that's going to cost him dearly as we go. No safety car, no VSC. And look at 80 Gamer and Senior drag racing down the straightaway here into what is essentially turn 3. 80 Gamer has a bit of a run, but Senior has the outside. He's going to squeeze him, and look at that. 80 Gamer squeezing Senior off the track. There will be a discussion about that one later, I'm sure of it. As we go around here, 80 Gamer now going to be under pressure by Buchek. Buchek. I never know how to pronounce his name. Anyways, they're now going to be under pressure from each other as we go through. So that means things are getting real crazy here as we look around. BIS 2000 now with a 3-second time penalty, and the gap up front now down to 7/10 of a second. Crash putting in a fastest lap with a 1:13.5. So as we go, times are starting to drop again and again. I don't know if that means the track is drying or not, but gaps spreading, gaps closing. Things are very interesting. Gap now 6.5 for Kuba. I'm sure in the next couple of laps, Kuba's going to have a run here. Look at 80 Gamer with a train right behind him. we'll jump on board here because it looks like Kuba having a great run so far on Spaghetti. Spaghetti doesn't seem to have great traction, and we have a yellow flag in Sector 1 again. I believe that is going to be for FOXXXES the same. FOXXXES having a horrible turn 1 time after time now. Unfortunately for him, unable to keep it together through that turn 1, which is very scary in the wet. It's just as scary in the dry. Gotta avoid the curbs at all costs. Kuba gap is 8/10, so he's having a little bit poor run through the middle sector, it appears, and then just managing to keep things together as they go into the third and the first sector, and it seems like that is where he is gaining his time. Kuba gap 6/10 as his teammate Senor takes a corner cutting penalty. Just watching here as the gap continues to close. Gap down to 5/10. Looking at tires, all of your front 12 drivers are all on the same lap tires. BIS 2000 on 13 lap old tires. Everybody else has pitted at least once, and it looks like Gamers in the pits. FOXXXES DNFing. And it looks like for FOXXXES, that DNF is going to result in a safety car here. Lap 14, and we have a safety car underway. Rain showing no sign of stopping at the moment. So we'll see if any drivers decide to pit in early. Of course, not near the halfway point of the race, but possible that drivers could decide they want to pit. Big winners and losers. Youngie's Godfather both up 8. Buchik up 7, but 6 seconds of time penalties to his name. Crash and 80 Gamer deciding to pin in. I'm sure they're going to go back on another set of intermediates. Looking at the losers, Puchaz, Vixie, and Kampa all way down in the places. So let's talk for a second here about Kuba, because this is Kuba's first race, and it's very, very exciting for him so far. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. Godfather went on a set of mediums? Hold on a second. Is the track drying? I am very confused. Can someone explain for me, please? Why is Godfather on mediums? Who told him this was a good idea? We all see the raindrops coming down, right? Like, I'm not imagining this. What? That had to have been an error. That had to have been a pit stop error. That's the only thing I can imagine at the moment from this. Back up front here. Actually, I'm going back to Godfather. He's right. No, not in the pits. What is he doing? What? Okay, we're gonna leave that be. Let's look at drivers that pit here. Crash pitted and went on a fresh set of intermediates early. This, if it stays intermediate conditions through the whole race, that could be a good decision from him. That could be a bad decision. 80 Gamer and BIS also pitting for intermediates. Let's jump on board with a driver here. No, I still see raindrops. So what is Godfather doing? Okay, anyways, he's pulling a Seb and saying, oh, let's go on to this, and then it doesn't work. That's the only thing I can imagine here. or he is pulling the ultimate strategy at the moment. He's pulling an a la carte 80 gamer is the only thing I can think of. 80 gamer, I'm sure, can give me a fill-in during the Split 1 race when he commentates and tells me exactly what the heck is going on. Spaghetti Mafia going to take control of the field here as safety car is in. Gamer having a severe collision with Biss and getting a 5-second penalty, of course, right as I jump away from him. As we come around, when is Spaghetti Mafia going to take off going, still swerving through the penultimate corner? And is he taking off now? It looks like he is not. Yes, now he is. There we go. So now we're back underway, and it looks like the Mercedes back there of Youngies getting caught way off guard and wasn't expecting it. Kuba trying to have a good run as we go through here. Let's jump on board. Kepa into the pits. Godfather's still out on mediums. I don't understand. Look at Kuba, though, having a run on Spaghetti finally. Kuba's been showing better pace than Spaghetti, but just hasn't been able to be close enough to convert as they come through here into what I keep calling turn 2, because it basically is. Kuba with horrible traction off the corner, though, and that might put him under pressure from Wasserschwein, who just got past Bernard as we go through. Keep looking around here. Keep looking around. Lots of action happening early. Kuba trying to hold on here. Bernard going to have a peek here on Wasserschwein, but not close enough at the moment. You can see Senor thought about a run on Buchik there. Wasn't close enough either as the drivers come through here. What is essentially turn 3. Everybody under single file at the moment. Lap 17 coming around here. Spaghetti in the lead, followed by Kuba, followed by Vasser, followed by Bernard, Buchik, Senior, Fishu, Youngies, Puchaz, Vixie, Kushort, Crash as they come around here the corner. We're going to watch Bernard hit this corner. Great looking traction from the driver here as Spaghetti's going to come across and bring us into lap 18 here. Halfway through the race now, if I can do some math correctly. Nobody quote me on that. I probably can't do math, but here we go. All the drivers in your top 8 still have not pit. Puchaz, of course, having to pit early due to damage, so his tires are just a couple laps newer. Velik's on same tires he started on. And look here, Buchik going to have a run. Or is he going to have a run? He was really close. I thought he was diving it there. Decided not to. And that is going to be Wasserschwein, who is spun there in turn 2. Probably hit a little bit of the inside of the curb. And I'm sure the intermediates are starting to hit a position here where they're not in a great place. As we come around here, inside here, Buchik trying to peak again as we go around. Buchik looking really good, but still not able to convert at the moment. As we come around, Bernard is holding up a lot of the drivers at the moment. You could see a 2.2 second gap has developed between him and the car in front. As we look here, Buchik spray behind him, trying to close in the gap. And then we have Senor back in P5, who is trying to have a good run as well. Tight battles here. Fishu, of course, right on the back of Senor, trying to break a little bit of a network jump there. Watch the drivers come around this final corner looking fantastic, and that is Fishu straight into the wall, and that is a Fishu DNF, and that will surely be our 3rd safety car of this race, and it absolutely is. Fishu loose off the final corner, and he was a passenger as soon as the rear end came around. Will the drivers decide to pit now? We are halfway through this race. I would imagine a lot of the drivers are going to decide to pit, and that is Fishu, Spaghetti's teammate, gone. Velik's now on the mediums. What? Is it not raining? Are we not raining? Is this not Godfather on the mediums? And there went Velik straight into the wall. So, Godfather on 3-lap all mediums. Velik just tried to go on the mediums and immediately spun. What? We still see the rain and the spray, right? You all are with me on this? Everybody's with me? Let's ride on board for a minute with Velix and see what happens here. Part of me is like, are we having a desync? And part of me is like, no, these drivers are just geniuses, and part of me just thinks they're crazy. We're not. Well, they might be smart, because I don't see raindrops anymore, but I don't think we're at a point, because you can still see spray coming off of Godfather in front of him. So is this a genius move? Is all the drivers up front pit? Let's see what tires they go on to. Spaghetti going for a set of soft compound tires, so the drivers know something I don't at the moment. And you can see the Red Bull behind Spaghetti going on to mediums. Drivers all switching to dry tires. DRS not enabled, but the drivers are risking it. So this is we're What is it? Syntax just called it big brains. Is this Youngies, Vassar, and 80 Gamer? Wasserschwein and 80 Gamer, I'm going to tell you right now, after the Spanish Grand Prix last year, they're the ones that if they know strategy, I stick with them. But Spaghetti Mafia might be lucky if he can stay on a dry line here. And you can... Biz 2000 and Gamer on fresh intermediates. So everybody else on softs or on mediums, or a couple drivers on softs, except for Youngies, Vassar, 80 Gamer, Biz Gamer. Can somebody get Toto Wolf on the phone and tell me what they're thinking between their two drivers? Because one's on softs, one's on inners. Same thing with Alpha or Aston Martin. Same thing with Alpine. I need someone to tell me what the plan is here. I don't get it. I'm very confused. I mean, it's not raining, but the track is still visibly wet. And there's still spray coming off the cars in front. So, it's one of those things like, is it early enough that it's good to transition as more drivers come to the pit and switch over? So the driver's feeling that this is the transition point. They're going to have to stay on a good line here. So as long as they don't find a wet line, I think this is a good move from them here on lap 21 of 36. So now you have 80 Gamer, who's the only person out on intermediates. So if he pits now, I mean, he's going to lose all of his positions. So now it's a question of big brain or little brain. Who do we watch here at the moment? So, is 80 Gamer going to pit here under safety car? Safety car not called in this lap. So he could pit here, and it does not appear he's going to pit. So 80 Gamer, the only driver staying out on intermediates, which, I mean, ooh. You can see getting a little swirly there out of the final corner. I wonder if that's due to tire heat or what that is. So there's a big question mark at the moment. Wasserschwein and Vixie both into the pits, double stacking there in the Aston Martin garage. What are they putting on here? As they come through, new wings going on is what it looks like. Yep, new wings and penalties being served back in Aston Martin. Can the softs last to the end is my big question now. So you're asking the softs to go 14 laps. Which sounds pretty doable, I think. It's all going to be a game of tire temps at this point and who can hold on to it. But I think 80 Gamer is now going to be caught out on the back foot. The only driver out on intermediates. But watching Spaghetti kind of slide around here, I'm second guessing it. Spaghetti on the softs might be a good decision, but all the drivers on mediums could be interesting. As we come through, an 80 Gamer has control of the field, but look at like the space here between 80 and Spaghetti. So 80 Gamer has control of the field as we come around final corner, and 80's not hesitating. He's back underway, and he's gone there, and Spaghetti struggling with a little bit of traction. And we'll watch here as the rest of the drivers come through back in the background. 80 Gamer, though, gonna take us underway here. Lap 23 of 36. And Vixie DNFing in the middle sector there before we can even be back underway. Is that another safety car here? Multiple yellow flags out at the moment as it looks like the drivers opting to go onto the dry compound tires or having to play it really conservative or really risky. So 80 Gamer maybe with a good strategy here, staying out at the moment even though the track is starting to dry. You can still see some of the spray going off and hitting the drivers in front. I don't know, y'all. I'm just the commentator. I can't tell you who's on the right strategy right now. Coming around here, look at some of the sliding being done here. As we look through, let's jump on board with some different drivers and kind of watch how they're handling at the moment. Godfather with a bit of a run here. And it looks like he had a good run there on Kushor, but wasn't close enough to convert. So dry compounds seem to be doing just fine. So 80 Gamer is going to start fighting the game of finding traction. The crossover point hasn't hit. DRS hasn't been enabled yet. But it looks like at the moment the track is at a point where dry compound tires can work. As risky as it is, as we watch Godfather here with a bit of a run on Kushor as he looks around here. Soft tire versus medium tire on a wet track, and Kushor is going to go defensive on the outside. Godfather on the inside. Godfather sends it late break there, and he holds on to it. As Bis 2000 thought about sticking a nose in there as well. Let's jump on board here with Buchik, who has a good run currently on Bernard. As they come around, Buchik a little loose there, and you see a little bit of a rear end snap as they come around here, and Bernard holding on to P4 at the moment, but Buchik still chasing him down, and Senor right behind them trying to chase both of them down. One little mistake, lots of pressure being applied by all the drivers. Any mistake could cost so much time in so many places here. Spaghetti, woo! And you can see one little mistake from Senor, and that might cost Senor big time as Godfather can smell the blood in the water, and Godfather gets really loose though, so Godfather going to be under pressure now from Kushor right behind him. Watch Kushor. Kushor can smell the mistake. Kushor is ready to go, and luckily for him, he holds on here, but the gap has now closed down significantly. And Spaghetti, what a run here on 80 Gamer, and it looks like DRS has been enabled, so 80 Gamer on the back foot now, crash 112.3. So this is the transition point. Has 80 Gamer been caught out here from his decisions? DRS open and Spaghetti right around, but 80 Gamer going mega defensive with a big lock up there. 80 Gamer into P2 now on 9-lap-old intermediate. So 80 Gamer taking the risk that I can't say I would not have taken myself, going through all the drivers opting to pit under safety car except for 80 Gamer. And unfortunately for 80 Gamer, this might catch him out. We do still have a little bit of spray, but at the moment, 80 Gamer, this will cost him big time, but it will put him on fresher tires. So will it pay off? And there he goes, diving right into the pits, which is going to relinquish Spaghetti Mafia back into his lead. 111s being put in from him and Kuba. Kuba a little bit more pace than Spaghetti. So let's jump on board here and watch if Kuba can get a run here. DRS going to be open as we go through. 10 laps to go at the moment here. Wasserschwein with the fastest lap now as well. So watch these battles as things are going to start happening fast and ferocious. Kuba trying to have a run here coming through the corner. Kuba with a good run through the corner. Gap 0.4 of a second now. He's going to have the advantage of DRS here as he goes through, and look at the battle being put in. If the game would show me the battle being put in as we go through here. Coming around, and it looks like Kuba a little bit worse of a run through the middle sector. I'm guessing he's running a lower downforce setting, which if you're Spaghetti, you're going to be very thankful for. But looking through, let's jump back here. P7. Look at the battle here. P5, 6, 7, and 8, all separated by less than a second. As we come through here, look around as Senor. Oh, big things happening here. Senor having a great run on Godfather as they come through, and Kushor also going to try to have a run here. Godfather shutting the door on Senor, though, as they come around. Senor trying to go around outside. And Godfather shutting the door. Look at Biss back there, and Biss spins. Oh, does he spin? Was that desync? I'm not sure. Look at Kushor having a dive there, and Kushor getting very greedy, losing it. Godfather going outside, and that is, for Kushor, risk versus reward. No risk. Paid off for him there. Look at the run Senor has there. Godfather with a horrible exit. And Senor DRS should have the pass done before the turn even hits. Look at him. Senor around. Pretty as you please. Thank you very much. I'll take my P5 for myself here. But look at Kuba. Half a second here off of Spaghetti Mafia. Can he close this gap this lap as we go through? Coming into the third sector, looking absolutely gorgeous as he goes through, looking around. Of course, tire advantage to Spaghetti Mafia, but we're 6 laps in, so that tire advantage is shutting down very quickly. Look at him coming around the corner here. And DRS open, but Spaghetti Mafia, even with dealing with DRS on Kuba, is able to fight back. Buchik, fastest lap, 1:08.9. Look at how close Kuba is as they come through this second corner here. But Spaghetti getting a great run out of every corner. Spaghetti's corner exits are beautiful. 8 laps to go as we go through. So even though Kuba has BRS, Spaghetti Mafia's corner exits are proving to be problematic here for Kuba, who's not able to get close enough here at the moment in order to make a pass happen. He's got 8 laps to go, so still ought to play for at the moment. Doesn't mean it's over for him, but if he can't figure out that corner exit in the next 8 laps, he's in some big trouble. Let's jump on board here. Biss 2000 and Godfather having a good battle as they come into the middle sector, and it looks like Biss 2000 is around. Look at Pooch has a Wasserschwein back in the back, though, battling out real strong battles here with just a few laps to go. Don't ask me to make any predictions. Don't ask me who's going to do what, because I don't know. Look at the drivers diving around here. Godfather right on the back here of Biss as they come through. DRS open, burning his ERS out. Can he get the pass into turn 1? Look at him. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. And they're going to go side by side coming through the first corner here. Push wide. Look at the ramp off of the sausage curb. But Biss still holding on. But look at the battle behind him here as we have Pooch as Wasserschwein in the mix as well. Look at Biss losing out big time here. Can Wasserschwein also get around him here as we go through? Look at Wasserschwein trying to have a dive. And the door gets shut by Biss 2000. Pooch has, though, Biss 2000 all the way down. 4 positions in 1 lap. What in the world just happened? And he's trying to battle it back there. Biss with tire contact from Wasserschwein. Wasserschwein trying to hold on there. What a what a beautiful battle just happened there. And this is all just for P7. This is all just for P6, P7, P8, P9. What a great battle is occurring here. This is beautiful to watch. So as we come through, Kuba 107.8, still faster than Spaghetti Mafia, but still not getting the pass done as the drivers come around final corner here. Still watching this battle here in the midfield. Kuba 4/10 back. Gamer fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 107.5. Alfa Romeo putting in a great time. Look at the run though. Puchaz not having a great run out of that corner. DRS not a factor anymore for Godfather trying to get around Senor. Senor getting a little comfortable up there in P5. Godfather not having a great run there. DRS open now. So is that going to spell disaster for Godfather? We look around the outside here. We've seen turn 3 prove a problem. So Godfather holding on. Puchas trying to do a little bit of a switchback here. Godfather a little bit loose coming through. And look at this pass. Beautiful. Beautiful attempt. Horrible execution. I love it. Let's jump back here with Biss and Wasserschwein. But look at the battle here. Godfather and Puchas finally having this pass done. Coming around here, this final couple of corners is going to be beautiful. Kuba closing the gap down to 2/10. Let's jump up here with him as Kuba might have this pass finally done through this zone. Still Spaghetti with a great run through the corner as we come around. Look at this drag race down into turn 2 as they go through. And Kuba backing out of it at the moment. He's going to try to get him the next DRS zone. A little bit better of a run. Look at that. Thought he had a better run, but Spaghetti Mafia still with that great corner exit. So for another lap, it appears that Spaghetti might have this underway here. As we jump back, the battle for P7 is still not done. Wasserschwein dropping back behind Godfather. Puchaz building up a 1 second gap now as we go through here. But look at the battle behind them. Wasserschwein, BIS 2000, and Gamer still battling it out as they come around what is essentially turn 3 here. So as they battle, look at Wasserschwein, though, trying to have a run on Godfather. I told you these last 10 laps were going to get chaotic, and I hope you listened because I'm sure I'm missing something here as we go around. But look at Godfather and Wasserschwein with a great battle. Is they're going to drag race into the penultimate corner. Wasserschwein is inside, Godfather on the outside. They're going to squeeze each other. Godfather has a bit better of a run. Wasserschwein has to eat the corner. They're still side by side going down the main straight. Look at them going through here. And they're still side by side. Wasserschwein, little bit better of a run. Wasserschwein got the DRS. He's finally around Godfather, but Godfather's going to have the DRS to fight back here on this occasion. So can Godfather fight back through as they come down the main straight? He's going to dive around to the inside here. Through DRS open, he has the pass done, but Wasserschwein's going to have DRS again now. BIS 2000 trying to dive into the mix, and BIS 2000 getting around Wasserschwein as well. Look at this battle. This is not done. Gamer trying to have a bit of a peek on the back. And BIS 2000 DRS open. He's trying everything to get around here. Watch this battle. BIS on the outside, Wasserschwein on the inside. Oh, and the switch back here. Wasserschwein a little bit better of a run, and that means that Wasserschwein is going to hold on to P8, but it's not over. Oh, what a race. What a battle here. Oh, what a battle. And it's still not over. We still have 4 laps of action. Kuba can't get past Spaghetti. Bernard can't get past Buchik. But this battle for the middle of the points-paying places cannot get any better, can it? Lap 33 now starting. 3 laps to go here and some change. Wasserschwein with the DRS open here on Godfather. Can he get the pass done? He's going to dive to the inside. He's straight around him as Godfather breaks, so Godfather can get the DRS. It's like he learned that from Max Verstappen or something as they come down. But Wasserschwein has DRS. So does Godfather as they come through. Wasserschwein opening the gap here. BIS 2000 going to have it on the mix. Puchaz and Senior finally having a good battle up front. And look at the dive there. BIS trying to have a dive on Godfather. Not able to convert to it. BIS having to back out. That might put BIS under some pressure from Gamer, as it actually does as they drag through here. Yellow flag in Sector 2. It looks like that is for a spin there from Kuba. Kuba dropping back now and losing his advantage there on Spaghetti. 4 seconds now the gap from him to Bernard. So Spaghetti, 3 laps to go, potentially having a smooth run through. We'll jump on board with him here in a couple laps and double check and make sure he's doing okay. 2.6 seconds the gap between him and Buchik. So a forced error there from Kuba, I believe it was. I wasn't watching to see what happened, but a forced error there. Godfather DNFing from the session, a wreck in the middle sector. And is that going to bring a safety car here with just 3 laps to go? It does not look like it is. Look at the run, though. Gamer trying to have on BIS as they dive around. And things finally giving me a couple seconds to breathe here. Wasserschwein, though, trying to have a good run here as he sets in a fastest lap on Senior. They're going to come down the main straight. DRS open. We have DRS trains starting to develop finally. Lap 34, 36, and things are not stopping as Wasserschwein comes through. Who gets the better run out of the corner? It seems like if you're following someone, you get the worst run as we look here as Senior has a run on Puchaz there. Are the pass going to be done as we look through here? And that is the pass on Wasserschwein. Thought about having a peek. Puchaz has a better run out of the corner, though, and he's got a little bit of a front wing in the mix. Oh, and Wasserschwein shoving his nose in the mix as well. Let's see if we can watch what happened. Wasserschwein losing out big time there. So, lots of tight battles for multiple laps. Things finally starting to calm down as Spaghetti Mafia leads us around to start lap 35. Spaghetti Mafia not giving anything up as we go through. So, as the sun comes shining here on lap 35 of 36 of this race, Spaghetti Mafia starting in First place, crazy qualifying, the only 113 we saw. Going through here, couple laps to go, and for Spaghetti, it just needs to be 2 clean laps. Let's jump back, though. These battles aren't done, as FOXXXES and Senor battling it out here. FOXXXES with the DRS, but Senor with a great run still. Yellow flag sector 2, it looks like that is potentially for 80 Gamer, who has spun there in the middle sector. And as we look, the battles are still not over, as Buchik can still try to have a run on Bernard. Senor is still battling with FOXXXES, and Wasserschwein isn't that far behind. Any forced errors, any sort of unforced errors could spell a disaster for your race here as we are on lap 35. Spaghetti is going to take us to start lap 36 now, and it looks like Spaghetti, speaking of forced errors, having a forced error, as he's now going to be under pressure for the final lap here. Bernard 0.3 of a second back as they come around the first corner. Spaghetti, all he had to do was keep it clean, and he didn't manage to do that, making things a little interesting as Crash retires from the session there, DNFing in turn 2, so the drivers are going to have to watch out for that. Bernard very close, having a bit of a dive. He needs to have a better run out of this. Spaghetti getting a little loose there, not with the best traction. And now as we go through, Bernard running around, final lap as they go through. And Bernard's going to have a dive up the inside. Bernard late braking, Spaghetti braking early, and Bernard outrunning himself into the gravel. Buchik gets past here, and that is going to be disaster for Bernard's only opportunity. As Spaghetti comes through, half a second to gap between Spaghetti and Buchik. Any sort of error could cost this race for them. Wasserschwein, of course, having a run on FOXXXES in the back, but I want to see this battle for the win at the moment. As Buchik, half a second back, 0.4 of a second back. He's got a great run coming here into the final 2 corners. Spaghetti just needs to keep it clean as we go through. Final 2 corners as they go around, and look at this. Spaghetti Mafia barely holding on to the win. A forced error, unforced error at the very end, and for Spaghetti, that means he is going to win, as Buchik just barely behind him trying to hold on. As time penalties get applied, we'll see where things go through. Bernard up into P2, Kuba into P3, Buchik 4, FOXXXES 5, Wasserschwein P6 coming across, P7 BIS 2000, P8 P7 Kepa, P8 BIS, P9 Vasser, P10 Senor, rounding out your points paying places at the moment. But was 80 Gamer cleaner than him? Was he close enough? Are things going to shut down? And 80 Gamer comes across P11. And for the Ferrari boys, it is going to be rounding out the last of the drivers to finish the race. Youngies, Crash, Godfather, Vixie, Fishu, and Offski DNFing. What a race. What a race. Amazing run. Spaghetti Mafia pulling it off, though. If you predicted Spaghetti Mafia winning from pole, I want to know who. Who you talk to for that? What a top 3. What a race. Oh, P14 to P4. Beautiful run there. I lost my voice a little bit, and we still have split 1 to go. Whew. So, what have we learned from this race? Well, changing conditions are always fun. Don't make an error if you can help it. So, Spaghetti Mafia, Bernard, Kuba, Buchik, FOXXXES, Gamer, Kepa, BIS, Vasser, Senor, and 80 Gamer, Velix, and Kushor. Rounding out all of your finishers. What an actual amazing race. So, we are going to take a quick break here for about 15 minutes, and we will be right back here shortly with our split 1 race.